Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, April 8th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to do just that, to take a break, to stop all the activity, and to just sit for a while and breathe and center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. Each time we have a Take a Break, Take a Breath session, I talk about a passage of Scripture, and we're working our way through the Gospel of Luke right now. And after a time of relaxation, then I invite you to hear the story as I tell it from the perspective of a particular person in the story. Today's reading is Luke 9:37 to 43. That's Luke 9:37 to 43. It's right after Jesus has been transfigured and he's coming down the mountain with the three inner circle disciples, and they're confronted by a man, and the man has a son who has a spirit. That's how they describe it in those days, a demon. In our day, a lot of people think that this might have been epilepsy. Doesn't really matter. The point of the story is about Jesus and the power of God to heal. This is one of the few times in Luke as well that we see Jesus get a little terse with his followers, a little perhaps even angry at the end when he calls them perverse and faithless. So that's our reading for today. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and to settle into a chair and close the door to that room, if it has a door, and just allow yourself to kind of sink into that chair. Just let everything go. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all that does not give you peace, all of your worries, your fears, your anxieties, the lists, the calendar, whatever it is that doesn't give you peace. Breathe it out just for this little while. Keep breathing in and out. In and out. And think about the growth of the Spirit's presence around you and in you and through you right now. Think about it perhaps like the water of a shower. The water runs down over your head, and the peace of God runs down over your head, and the Spirit settles on your mind and brings all the things that have been bouncing around in your head to a calm place. And as the Spirit's presence spreads over your face, your brow relaxes. The muscles around your eyes relax. Sometimes in our tension, we squint. The muscles in your jaw relaxes. Maybe you can even smile. And as it spreads to your neck, you feel the tensions in your neck unwind. muscles in your neck relax and get soft. And then the Spirit's presence spreads into your shoulders and down your arms to the tips of your fingers. And if you've been holding your shoulders real tight or hunched up, they relax. And your arms feel rested. Perhaps you've been carrying a lot around today. And your hands open up. And you let go of all of the things that you're clinging to. The presence of the Spirit of God spreads to your chest. The Spirit has already been there in your lungs as you breathe in and out, nice and steady. And now the Spirit of God moves into your heart. And your heart rate slows to a calm and resting pace. And the Spirit of God moves down and touches your abdomen and your stomach. It relaxes. The rumbles in your stomach settle down. The Spirit of God also moves around to your back. The aches and pains in your back are eased as the muscles relax from the presence of God. And you become aware of the Spirit's presence moving down over your hips, into your thighs, and your knees, and your calves, and your feet. The weariness in your legs melts away. The soreness in your feet fades. The Spirit of God is touching every part of your body and deep into who you are, so that all the parts of you, seen and unseen, are touched by God's presence. And in your mind's eye, imagine the bottom of a mountain in ancient times. The characters in this story are Jesus and his 3 disciples who went up on the mountain with him, the crowd, the father who has his only son possessed by a spirit, and the other 9 disciples who failed to cast out the demon. Choose one and watch and listen and experience this story from that perspective. The next day, meaning the day after the Transfiguration, Jesus and Peter and James and John come down the mountain. And there's a crowd there. And there's a man who cries out, "Teacher, please look at my son. He has a demon." Suddenly a spirit falls upon him. and it convulses him, and it throws him to the ground, and he shrieks, and he foams at the mouth. I begged your disciples to heal him, but they could not. Jesus looks around and says, "You faithless and perverse generation, how much longer will I be with you and bear with you? Bring your son here." And as the son is coming to Jesus, the spirit convulses him and throws him to the ground, and Jesus rebukes the spirit and heals the boy and gives him back to his father. And all who witnessed this were amazed at the greatness of God. Now, from the perspective of the person that you chose to be, did you notice anything different in that story? Did it put you in touch with anything different about our world today? As you sit there and ponder all of that, Jesus comes to you. I invite you to talk with him about all of that, and to talk with him as well about people who are frustrated by the illnesses that they have. It feels like they're thrown to the ground and convulsed, and like no one can help them. But Jesus can, for God is great. I'll be quiet while you and Jesus talk together. And then the time comes for the conversation to end, and if it's not long enough, just press pause. And the two of you say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Friday, April 8th. If you have feedback for me or want to talk with me, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org. And just as a reminder, our reading for today was Luke 9:37-43.